In Stephen A. Smith's response to Whitlock, he mentioned an email where Whitlock begged him for forgiveness after writing a negative story about him. Take a look.
While you were on Blaze TV, spewing that bullshit to people, did you tell them that? Did you tell them how you stood outside of First Take begging me to talk to you? Did you tell them that once this same article in Deadspin came out, weeks later you wrote a lengthy apology to me in an email, begging me to forgive you, pointing out how you were betrayed by this particular writer, so you know how I must feel that you betrayed me? Did you tell the folks that, you bitch? Did you tell them? You fat piece of shit.
After hearing Stephen A.'s comments, Jason Whitlock revealed the full email on his show. He also provided more context about the email and why he sent it. Take a listen here.
My experience at ESPN in 2013 and 14 made me do a lot of reflecting on my life and the way that I've conducted myself. Made me ask a lot of questions like, wow, why do people, this response, this visceral hatred, this, how could I be helping a young person and that person be killing me in print the next day? And it made me say, have I ever done that? And I had to admit to myself, oh man, this is what Stephen A. Smith probably felt like when I wrote a piece for Fox Sports criticizing him for using the N-word live on air. It wasn't that Stephen A. Smith had been helping me or anything like that, but Stephen A. Smith had every right to think at that time, hey, me and Jason Whitlock are friends. So I think we're going to put the email up on screen. I'm certainly going to read it to you. Stephen, this apology is long overdue. This week, a young African-American writer I considered a friend and someone whose career I'd taken an interest in took a public potshot at me at Deadspin. I was devastated. I talked to this kid frequently, twice a month. I'd communicated with him the day before he took the potshot at me. He never said a word, never warned me it was coming. I've known this kid for a year. In my depression and disappointment, I thought of you. I asked myself, if this is how Stephen A. Smith felt reading my column at Fox Sports, I became more depressed. And although the circumstances are different in these two scenarios, one thing is accurate. When I wrote that column for Fox Sports, I considered you a friend. I was appreciative of our friendship and the loyalty you had shown me over the years, particularly when you and Chris Broussard publicly defended my reporting on Billy Hunter and Derek Fisher. I owed you a phone call before I wrote that column. I owed you an explanation before I wrote that column. I owed you that respect. I also owed you a more compassionate column. I regret not giving it to you. Whether you accept this apology or not, I give it with all sincerity and no expectations. I'm sorry, Whitlock. That's the email. Not begging this dude for a job. I'm offering him a sincere apology. I'm taking personal stock of me and my behavior and asking myself, man, this Greg Howard just did something that really offended me and hurt me. Have I ever done that? And I said, yeah, to some degree you did that to Stephen A. Smith.
In defense of Whitlock, assuming that that's the actual email, and I don't know why he would lie, he knows Stephen A. has a copy of it, but he definitely wasn't begging for forgiveness. He even mentioned that whether or not Stephen A. accepted his apology didn't matter. But in Whitlock's statements around the email, he kind of admitted some of Stephen A.'s points as well. He said his time at ESPN made him reflect on how he could do things better. He didn't get along with most of his colleagues, and he was banned from multiple shows at multiple networks. I'll give Jason Whitlock some credit. He seems to be a lot more open than Stephen A. Smith. He directly addressed every negative thing that Stephen A. said, and he even admitted some of his wrongdoings. Stephen A. hasn't done that. He hasn't addressed anything in the memoir, the 17 shots in a row, the 1.5 points per game in one game, the time he got a full scholarship in one tryout, or any of the accusations made by Whitlock. He went straight to personal attacks and bragging about his resume. And again, I'm not siding with anybody in this. I've just watched both responses in full, and some things Jason Whitlock has done better than Stephen A. But as Stephen A has pointed out, some of Whitlock's own decisions are why so many don't want to work with him in the industry. But that's all I have for this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of Jason Whitlock revealing the email he sent to Stephen A. Smith. And don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more content just like this, and I will see you in the next upload.